It's June 9th, and we're ready to update New Hope residents with a chat with the mayor, Mayor John Elder, joining us. Welcome once again, Mayor. How are you this week?
I'm fabulous. How are you, Dave?
I am very good. So, as we
Good.
told you early, a Monday morning, we're chatting here today, and that means a Monday with a council meeting tonight, but a rather light agenda, but
Yeah.
couple special parts of the agenda
Yeah.
relating to former council member Andy Hoff. Tell us about what is going to happen at the council meeting on June 9th.
Thank you, Dave, for mentioning that. This is a difficult thing with the passing of Council Member Hoff, and we want to certainly pay respects for Andy as a person as well as his service to the city and the city council. And so we will start out the meeting tonight with a moment of silence in his honor. We will uh, go into a proclamation the city has made honoring all of the work that he has done through the 20 plus years on our city council. Um, and then we will be discussing later in the meeting the fact that there is a vacancy on the council, and we will be posting for that.
And if I recall right, Andy was just reelected this past fall. Is that correct? So what is the normal process the city has, or is that something that is developing as you go here?
Yep. Well, it's actually delineated in Minnesota state statute on
Okay.
how we have to address this.
Mhm.
So we could do a special election, but that's an incredible amount of work for city staff and for residents to come back in and vote. So we have the opportunity to go ahead and host interviews and interested applicants would apply and they would be interviewed once, twice, whatever we need by the council. And we would then appoint that person. Now, the law states that we can't appoint for a portion of the term that is over 2 years,
Okay.
which means we have another election coming up a year from this November. So this person would be appointed to the council until the following to the next election.
Sure.
If they would like to finish the last 2 years of the term, they have to run for that and they would be on the ballot. And if you remember back in 2008, that's how I ended up getting on city council. In May
Okay.
of 2008, I was appointed when Councilman Steve Summer moved out of the city. I got
Mhm.
appointed. I had to run that following November. So I was appointed to the council for 7 months. Um, I did run that November and was elected for the last 2 years of that term.
Mhm.
So, and then I just continued on with elections. So
Okay.
that's how we'll be doing it. And we did this with a previous position just within the last probably 6 months
Right.
when I was appointed to mayor or elected to mayor, my seat became open. So we went through the interview process and got a remarkable candidate in uh, Kyle Coriel, who is now sitting on the council.
Mhm.
The thing that was really interesting is we had a lot of great candidates apply, and it was interesting to see this many quality people that came through that want to be doing this. So
Mhm.
we're very lucky. I gotta believe we'll have a lot of great candidates this time as well.
Very good. Well, thanks for the explanation, and we'll keep New Hope residents up to date on that process as it moves ahead here. One other preview of tonight's council meeting, you're going to have a special presentation to introduce some special guests to the city. Who are these people?
Absolutely, we have two cadets that are going to be citywide cadets, and it's from a company, GTO, or Growth Through Opportunity. And these are two individuals that have special needs, and they will be working with all the different divisions within the city, and they will learn how to work, how to be an employee, how to, do a lot of these different things. So we're excited to have them come on board. A number of the cities around New Hope have been doing this. It's a great program, and it's 6 weeks long. And so will be reaching out and working with these two cadets, and we're excited to be a part of this program.
Welcome to the cadets. Let's move ahead to community development as we take a look through some things happening in the city right now. And one in community development is the Rave Awards. We've got a July 25th deadline for nominations. Mayor, remind us who we can nominate and how we do that.
You bet. The Rave Awards recognizes the efforts of residential property owners who contribute time and resources to maintaining or improving their residential property. Um, People can get the application or the nomination forms on the city's website, and it's a great way to really recognize people that go above and beyond in keeping their properties and the city of New Hope beautiful.
And there you see the website, newhopemn.gov. You can find out more information about that process right there. Also can find all of the city council meeting agendas and other agendas, and you might see something about the Planning Commission, which recently met, and we previewed that a few weeks ago, Mayor. We were talking about they're looking at non-passenger vehicles parked in residence. What was that conversation like, and what might be the next step?
We've gotten a number of complaints about vehicles that are only work vehicles in nature that are parked in our residential area. And so we looked at it, we met on it as a council, we referred it to the Planning Commission, who has had a couple of meetings on it. And on June 3rd, they met to consider the text amendment to our code restricting some types of non-passenger vehicles from being stored permanently in the residential district. The Planning Commission did recommend approval of the ordinance, and it will be considered again by the City Council on the June 23rd council meeting.
And again, more details on the city's website if you want to take a further look into that. Community development also working with scatter site housing. And it sounds like, Mayor, you've got one new property to talk about. So the process continues on.
We do. Now, it isn't locked in yet because it has to go in front of the EDA for their approval. But there's a home on the 3800 block of Jordan Avenue North that has reached an agreement for the purchase of the home, again, contingent upon the Economic Development Authority approving it. That will be going through at the June 23rd EDA meeting. And this would be a great candidate for a demolition and a rebuild. And before we demolish it, we will allow the fire department to train in there, as well as our police and SWAT teams. So a little something for people to be watching for. And they put out notices, of course, well before they start those activities. But we're looking forward to getting this home and getting a nice new home put in there.
We'll keep residents up to date on that process as it moves through the EDA as well. Community development also works with the business community very closely. They have another one of their monthly events coming up, and this is off-site at a fun business in town, it sounds like.
Absolutely. This is going to be on July 2nd at 2 p.m. and it's being hosted by Rockin' Nutrition. And so we're excited to get all the folks together, all of our business owners and managers through Crystal and New Hope, and hear what's going on in our business community. Again, I get to the vast majority of these meetings, and we're able to find out what their needs are and how we can work best as a city and our businesses.
And one other note on businesses, there is a new business coming to the city of New Hope. You wanted to welcome that business, Mayor, and tell us where they are and what they do.
Absolutely. We're always excited to see new businesses come into town. And Kingdom Fit of Minnesota is going to be coming in to 9220 Bass Lake Road. And that's going to be doing fitness and educational classes. So it's again a great business, and we're excited to have them call New Hope home.
Next department to touch on in our update this week is the police department. A few things to offer here. First is always out engaging with the public in a couple
Yeah.
ways, serving some meals and then maybe joining in on a very fun meal. What happened recently?
Yeah, I've always said the cornerstone of Chief Hoyt's administration and department is community engagement and obviously public service. And this past week, they continued on with delivering Meals on Wheels to people who don't have the ability to get out and get their own food. And so they delivered lunch one day last week through our community action program, SEEP, and so it's really great that they do that. Then officers attended a barbecue that they hosted at Emerald Point Apartments, and we need to get out to where people are at. We can invite people to come to City Hall all day long, and people just don't come to City Hall that often unless they have direct business there.
Mhm.
So, if we want true community engagement, we're finding that getting out and getting to where people are at is the best way to do it. And doing it over food is also a big draw.
Mhm.
So they hosted a barbecue at Emerald Point Apartments. I went to this one last year. Absolutely great events, good conversation with residents, and it's just ways to build bridges with our community.
Mhm.
And so I look forward to attending more of these this year as the police department continues their community engagement push.
Great to see. One final note in police. Want to keep you updated on the incident reports and tell us what happened this past week.
Yep. The count is 588 police-related incidents from May 29th to June 4th. Again, that number continues to creep up as the weather gets warmer, but our officers are doing a remarkable job staying on top of calls while still getting out doing community engagement as well as proactive law enforcement. So, hardworking group
Mhm.
over at the police department, and really, from everything that I'm seeing, doing it the right way. So that's exciting.
And let's pause for a minute to put the spotlight on a few of those great officers in the city recently responding to a house fire. Give us
Yeah.
some of the details of that great service to the community.
Yep, officers responded to a reported house fire on the 4400 block of Hillsborough, and Officer Larson and Leon were first on the scene. They arrived, were advised that there were animals inside the house. There were flames visible and heavy smoke. Officers breached the residence and were able to locate the dogs and bring them out of the home safely. No one other than the dogs were inside the residence at the time. Both of the pups were very anxious, but
Mhm.
were unharmed and uninjured. So, incredible work by the police department for making the decision to go in and do this to breach the residence and save those animals. Just absolutely top notch work.
Fantastic. Let's go to Park and Recreation. A few things to touch on here as we're in the busy spring to summer season right now and lots of class opportunities. And we've got this booklet too that we talk about on a regular basis that has
Yeah.
all the information in it, including the neat little golfer there. But lots of classes inside. Mayor, give us a little flavor of some of the classes right now that are available.
Yep, classes are going on in the Eco Elsa campfire cooking and sport of sports programming. Our gymnastics team is also going strong, Rev soccer, Rev tennis, and of course, adult pickleball.
Mhm.
So these are just some of the newest classes that have kicked off, and this is just quality programming. And the great thing is that if we find that some of our classes will likely not be well attended because maybe they're different from pickleball or things that a ton of people want to do. They
Mhm.
work with other cities that are directly around us and open it up to them as well. So we're able to do a class on archery and things that are a little bit different from mainstream, and so we're able to do all these different classes and include people from other communities. So they're doing incredible work.
And Parks and Recreation also has a soft spot for people that love music, and that equates to entertainment in the parks. Recent one held and many more to come. Again, remind us about this great offering at the city.
Absolutely. Music in the park happens at our performance center right behind City Hall. And this last week we had the Brio Brass, which is a 55-member brass band, and they play a variety of music from pop, funky rock, and jazz.
Mhm.
And so it's great to see our performance center being used. Back when we had our old performance center, before the park rebuild, it was used once a year for the off-Broadway music theater, and that was it. And it's incredible to see it getting used so frequently and being enjoyed by so many other residents and visitors.
Yeah, great facility. And stick with us at the end of this program. We've got an announcement about the next event that is coming up in that music venue. Well, let's talk about mud. We previewed it a week ago that some kids and family members were going to be out in mud for a good reason this week, and it happened, and there were many that wanted the mud.
So many. The This was the Young Mudder, which is an obstacle course that was held at a park in Crystal. Again, an event where we're working with other communities, and this is for kids ages 6 to 12 years old. And we had over 100 people participate in it, and it was muddy and it was great, and the kids had a ball, and then the fire department hosed down the kids and got them all cleaned up so we weren't putting muddy kids back into cars. So just really a remarkable job.
They think of everything there. And that first week of June was really busy in the city because another event that kicked off was the Farmers Market. Give us the report of the new market in the new location.
Yep, I attended this and the turnout was wonderful. And it was Thursday. It's every Thursday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the New Hope Church right there on 42nd and 169 in the northeast corner. It was great to have the market back open and have the community there to support it. And again, just a great time. It was everything we hoped it would be, and we look for it to continue to build.
One final park and rec note is the aquatic park is now open for the season. It may have been just a touch cool over the last weekend, but I bet that did not stop the hardy kids, did it?
Not a chance. At my age, cold water, I'm not a huge fan of unless
No.
I'm drinking it. But, for kids, it doesn't matter. It's getting into the pool, it's having fun. And our aquatic park is now open and in full swing. Lap swimming, water walking for adults begin in the mornings, and swim team rentals are continuing. So we're excited to be in this part of the year where we're able to get this open and get it used. I mean, that's
That's
what it's there for.
perfect. Get out and enjoy. One final note in our update today to pass along, and I know the city puts a lot of effort into communication, keeping residents informed. And here's another example of that. You've got someone coming on to help the communications world.
and boy, she needs help. Our communications director, Beth Kramer, has really taken communications to the next level for the city and our residents. You look at the mass communication, people get their information from different sources. So Beth oversees the website and all of its content. She handles all the media statements and media releases. She interacts with the local media, the Sun Post, and obviously CCX, and handles all of our printed publications as well as all of our social media. So we want people to be able to get information on the city wherever they normally get their information. And so that means reaching out and hitting a lot of different areas. There's only 24 hours in a day.
Right.
And so we were able to get an intern for the summer to work with Beth Kramer. And we have welcomed Lily Jacobs into that role. And she will be with us for the summer, and she will help take a load off of Beth Kramer. And so we're excited to have her. She's got a great pedigree, for lack of a better term, a great history, and was set up for this sort of an appointment. So we're expecting great things from her. She'll deliver them without a doubt, and we're excited to have her be a part of this team.
Welcome to Lily. That's great. All right. That gives you an update of what's going on in the city. And again, the city's website, newhopemn.gov. You can find out all of the information there that's coming up or things that might be ready for your schedule in the coming weeks here. And again, stick with us. I'll look at a few calendar of events in just a second. Mayor, thanks for your time again this morning. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Dave, thank you. You too, sir.
For more city stories, check out ccxmedia.org or find us on social media.